What are you focusing on? This is kind of food for thought today. I always tell myself before I start a long kind of ladder session, today I'll focus on my build order, or today I'm focusing on getting 3 base saturation as soon as possible, or today my focus is to minimize supply block. But what am I really actually saying when I say focus? Alexander Graham Bell, the inventor of the telephone, once quoted, concentrate all your thoughts upon the work at hand. The sun rays do not burn until brought into a focus. And Webster's dictionary writes that focus as a noun is the state or quality of having, what is this? The state or quality of having or producing clear visual definition. This is kind of hard to understand unless you break it down into the kind of 2 different separate definitions it's talking about. So, state of having clear visual definition. So, like after the light came on, my eyes had focus. Or the quality of producing clear visual definition. It's like these glasses have good focus. That kind of an idea. Focus as a verb is basically to, pay particular attention to something. Like I'll focus on my work, or I'll focus on, my build order, or whatnot, what have you. So basically, focus ranges from your current target, or what I call dedicated focus, to your attentiveness to the match at hand. What I usually call passive focus. And I feel like, the more that you work on your dedicated focus, the more your passive focus improves. So as an example, I focus on eliminating supply block for 100 games. Naturally, my eyes are going to start looking at the supply more. So I'll be up here looking at that supply a little bit more, after 100 games. And I'll have a better feeling of when supply block could be a risk during a match. If I'm always getting supply blocked on these certain specific times, or when I push out, or right before I do a big warp in, or right before I start my upgrade, after I start my upgrades and I have a big drop of larva, supply block. So by focusing on, by improving my dedicated focus, it will in turn help my passive focus. So, when I'm in a match and I'm expanding my production or producing units out of 5 barracks or 8 gates, after some training I'll naturally glance at the supply more, so I know when I need to increase my supply cap before, or between production cycles, or, whatever that is. But before each StarCraft session, I suggest that, you ask yourself that, what part of my passive focus do I want to improve? And the answer to that should be the same answer to, what am I focusing on today? This style of thinking and gameplay will, eventually improve your overall performance when it comes to passive focus during a match, allowing you to, play a lot faster and a lot cleaner than you did before. So, above all else, you should, in my opinion, focus on improvement more than anything. So, I just hit Diamond as random today. And before I got on the ladder, I just said, I'm just going to focus on playing as clean as I can. And what does that mean? I spent 3 seasons going through and trying to learn all the different races, all these little things, these little nuances. Like, just right here, I'm trying to hide my actual buildings back by my main base. So the Overlord has to really commit to come in and get it. If I put it by the ramp, then he can kind of see it easily. I've lost to that because he saw what I was doing. These little nuances that I've kind of grown to learn after playing, almost 500 games of each race, I now feel comfortable just saying, I'm just going to try to play clean today. And when I say I'm just going to try to play clean, I can play up to a diamond level game with any race now. So what's the next step is what I'm always focusing on, and focus is the next step. And when I say focus, I mean, what am I going to try to do? So my passive focus, I think if you look right now, I'm about to hit a supply block. I've got one supply depot finishing, but I'm pretty close to hitting a supply bar record, 59 out of 62. And my upgrades are complete. I'm trying not to, you know, float any minerals. So I have this kind of base passive focus in the match. Constantly looking at my supply, constantly looking at my money, trying to control my units. And I wasn't able to do it after, you know, I wasn't able to do it immediately. But yeah, even during that, I'm flipping between my production, looking around, trying to take my eyes away from it. And I always tell myself I'm not allowed to look back until I do something that's going to help after this is finished. And I started a whole bunch of stuff, got some depots down, dropped some supply. I'm going to start up another command center. And after I finish my transition, then I can go back to my macro. But right now my focus is on my micro. My focus is on my macro. So I ended up murdering everything. So above everything else, you should focus on improvement. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.